So students, today we are going to discuss another topic from the chapter genetics, that is genetic mapping. So you can also say this like linkage mapping or chromosome mapping. So first of all, we have to know what is a gene and what do you mean by mapping. So gene is a small section of DNA within the genome that actually code for the synthesis of gene product. That can be either RNA or a protein, okay. And mapping means the location tracing, okay. So it will help us to trace which gene present in the which locus on a chromosome, okay. So we are writing the first point, that genetic mapping means the mapping of gene on chromosome, okay. The second point is, it is also known as linkage map or chromosome map. And the third and most important point is the unit of the measurement for this genetic map. So the unit of measurement for genetic linkage or genetic mapping is known as map unit or centimorgan, okay. So now we have to draw a figure, okay. As you can see, I have already drawn a figure here, and this figure is divided into main three division: genetic map, cytogenetic map and the physical map. So let's start with the genetic map. So genetic map is just a reflection of how much crossing over actually take place between the 2 points, okay. So whenever you are mapping a gene, it will let you know how much genes are close to each other or how far they are located. So from this, what can we conclude? From this genetic map, we can determine the pattern of inheritance, okay. Because if genes are located very close to each other, then chances will be higher for them to inherit together. If genes are located very far apart from each other, then chances will be greater for the independent assortment, okay. So next one is cytogenetic map. As you can see, it is just visual appearance of the chromosome. And for the visual appearance of the chromosome, we have to stain the chromosome, and the stain name is Giamza stain, okay. And here you can see some light bands and dark bands are appearing on the chromosome. So what are these light regions and what are these dark regions? So light regions are basically GC rich sequences and dark regions are basically AT rich sequences. So whenever we are staining a chromosome, the Giamza stain will unable to penetrate properly into the GC rich regions because they are more dense. So they are appeared after staining as light regions, and in the AT rich sequence they are not more dense than the GC ones. So the Giamza stain is will penetrate in these regions. So they are appeared as dark regions, okay. So every chromosome has a unique sequence or appearance, and this chromosome can be stained with the certain dyes like Giamza stain and can be seen with the help of microscope, okay. So the last mapping, physical mapping. So it measures the base pairs. Okay, how much base pairs are present between the 2 points it is measuring. And if we are taking the 2 points, it will let us know that how much base pairs are present between these 2 points. So if we are taking these 2 points, so we can conclude that there are 25 base pairs are present between these 2 points, and they are calculated by calculating the amount of nucleotide or the number of nucleotide present between them. So these are the nucleotide sequences of the DNA. Clear? Three types of mapping. Okay. Now the types of genetic mapping. Okay. So there are mainly two types of the genetic mapping. Okay. The first type is genetic linkage mapping, and second one is the physical mapping. Okay, we are writing this genetic linkage map in the left side and physical map in the right side. Okay. So what is this genetic linkage map? So it is a type of mapping which directly unable to tell us whether a gene is present on a chromosome or not. But instead it can tell us what is the corresponding location of one gene with the another one. Okay, so let me give you an example of two different genes. Let us guess G1 and D2, two genes. So if we use this linkage map to predict the position of these two genes, these are going to tell us whether they are in close proximity or whether they are situated distantly from each other. Okay, but it cannot tell us if the G1 is situated on chromosome number 1 or G2 is situated on chromosome number 2, if the G1 is present in the long arm of the chromosome, whether the G2 is present in the short arm of the chromosome. Okay, but so it can only give us the relative position of the two genes with respect to each other, but never gives us the exact location of these genes on a chromosome. But if we utilizing this physical map, we can actually tell the exact position of the two genes on the chromosome. We can say like this: G1 is present on chromosome number 1, G2 is present on the chromosome number 2. Okay, so physical mapping is much more relevant or much more accurate because it can give us the idea about whether a gene is present in a chromosome or not. So if we are combining these two mapping, we can tell on which chromosome these two genes are present, and also what are the relative distance of these two genes with each other. Okay, so we can conclude this by combining these two types of mapping. There are some differences between this genetic linkage map and the physical mapping. Okay, so first point we are writing in case of genetic linkage map, by using this genetic linkage map we can see the arrangement of genes and genetic markers on chromosome. Okay, And in case of the physical mapping, it provides the physical distance between the genes that are located on a chromosome. Okay, the second point, they are calculating on the basis of recombination frequency, and they are calculating or they are measured in terms of nucleotide basis. Okay, so this is the difference between them. So now we have to understand what is this genetic marker and what do you mean by recombination frequency. Okay, these two terms we have to understand. So first one is genetic markers. So we are writing genetic markers. So what are they? These genetic markers simply genes, okay, that are present in different locations on a chromosome and have different way of expression. Okay, so they are genes that are present on chromosome and have different way of expression. Okay, so we are actually locate a gene with respect to this genetic markers. If they are not present, we are unable to locate an exact location of the gene. So what are the types of their expression? So we are writing the types of expression. We are taking two examples here. First one is visible type and second one is biochemical type. Okay, what is this visible type? In case of this visible markers, we can visualize the changes phenotypically. So if the marker is present, the effect will be visualized. So marker is basically a gene, so we cannot see the genes in our naked eyes. So first of all we have to isolate them, we have to sequence them, then we have to find the similarity with these genetic markers. But for this case it is quite easy for us. Okay, so by looking at the phenotype we can say the marker is present or not. So let us take an example of the flower color. Okay, flower color. So if the genetic marker is present, the flower color will be yellow. If the genetic marker is not present, the flower color will be white. Okay, so we just we can say by using this flower color or visualizing this flower color whether the genetic marker is present or not. If the flower color is yellow, then the genetic marker is present. If the flower color is white, so there is no presence of this genetic marker. This is the visible genetic markers. And biochemical genetic markers. Okay, so sometimes these genetic markers show their effect or express themselves by some biochemical changes. For example, we are taking the AB blood group of the humans. Okay, so here the genetic marker is HLA antigen, that is human leukocyte antigen. Okay, so we cannot tell directly by seeing a blood sample whether it is from A group of blood or whether it is from B group of blood. We have to examine it or test them biochemically. So remember the concept of the visible markers. By looking at them we can directly say whether the genetic marker is present or absent. But here we have to test for the detection of the genetic markers by some biochemical methods. So these are the two different types of expression of the genetic markers. Clear how the genetic markers are expressed and whether they are present, they will be detected by visualizing or can be detected by biochemical. So what is the main definition of these genetic markers? So we can say it is the gene or DNA sequence on a chromosome that can be used to identify individuals or a species. Clear the concept of the genetic markers? So now the concept of recombination frequency. Now the concept of recombination frequency. Okay. So what do you mean by recombination? Recombination actually a process of recombining things. Okay. So it is the rearrangement or exchange of genes that we are getting from our parents, and this rearrangement will produce a unique type of characteristics within us. Okay. And what is recombination frequency? It is the frequency with which a single chromosomal crossing over will take place between the two genes during the meiosis. So we are writing it is the frequency with which a single chromosomal crossing over will take place between two genes during the meiosis cell division. Clear the concept of the recombination frequency. Now the types of physical mapping. Okay. There are mainly three types of this physical mapping. Okay. The first one is restriction mapping. The second one is known as fluorescent in situ hybridization mapping, or you can say in short FISH. And third one is sequence tagged site STS mapping. Okay, so let us now discuss an example of the genetic mapping. So we are drawing a rough sketch of the chromosome. So if it is a rough sketch of the chromosome and genes are located like this: A gene, B gene, C gene, here D, E, F, G and A gene. So by visualizing this genetic map, we can say that the chances of chromosome breaking between A and C is higher than the chances of chromosome breaking between the A and B gene. And similarly, the chances of chromosome breaking between the E and F will be higher than the chromosome breaking between the F and G. Why so? Because we know that the closer two genes are, the more likely they are to be inherited together. This is known as co-occurrence. Co-occurrence. This is known as co-occurrence. Okay. And so if the pedigree studies show a high incidence of the co-occurrence, those genes will be located close to each other on the genetic map. We can say from this genetic map. Okay. And we are writing the figure here. That is, it is the explanation of genetic mapping. So what is the main point? If genes are located very close to each other, they will be inherited together. So the chances of breaking between them will be less. And if genes are very far from each other, then there will be higher chances of independent assortment. So chances will be higher between the breakage of these two distantly situated genes. Okay. Now the most important and last point for today is the importance of genetic mapping. Okay, so what is the importance of the genetic mapping? The first point is the gene map is the anatomy of the genome. So it is a prerequisite to the understanding of the functions of the genome. Okay, so we are writing the point. Gene map is the anatomy of genome and it is a prerequisite to understand functioning of genome. Clear the first point. Now the second point. Second point is it helps in the analysis of the heterogeneity and segregation of the genetic disease. So helps in analysis of the heterogeneity and segregation of genetic disease. The third point, and it is very important, that it helps to develop the methods for the gene therapy. It helps to develop the methods for gene therapy. And the last point is it provides clinically useful information about the linkage, whether the genes are linked or not. Okay, so provides clinically useful information about linkage. Clear? So that's it for today. If you have any doubts or any queries, feel free to ask me, and thanks for your attention. Stay safe and study hard.